this has been a really good year for you for Beast Wars figures. So
Yeah, I'm very happy.
you see how he's holding the Matrix? Like his whole hands are on it. Looks like instead of Ultra Magnus with the yeah.
And then this is something that you're looking forward to, right? I think it looks like straight up like Megatron. With the silver and the red on the chest, and if they just gave it a Megatron head, it even has an arm cannon. I think this could be a Megatron. Like Prime Megatron in G1 or something. I don't know.
I can see that, and I don't like that. So I have a pre-order in for the G1.
Oh, look at Mr. Legends Collector over here. Well, I might have to bring you in because I might have put a pre-order in for this one.
What? Hey, welcome back, BVC fans. As always, I'm Bobby the Bot.
And I'm Con, also known as James.
And let's jump right into the news. We have a lot of stuff coming to you. I know you're seeing a little bit more of us because there's been so much Transformer news. And hey, that's a good thing, right? So let's go ahead and jump on into it then.
Yes, let's start off with something where I didn't know where to put it. And that is this Battle for the Spark live event in China. Well, we're recording this. It's already happened, but it's happened in between this and the last news cycle. It was in Shanghai, China. And I think this would have been pretty cool if I was a kid to see this. I don't know who all the characters are, like those two blue guys on the end with like the pointed chests. I think they're supposed to be random Decepticons, but yeah, I think this would have been pretty cool to see.
Honestly, I think I would have went even though I'm not a kid and may or may not have enjoyed it. I mean, I definitely would have took my daughter just to blame it on that. But I see the Windblade back there. Yeah, I don't know who the pointy blue Decepticon is either, or the red one. That's the short red one next to him. Or yeah,
I think it's supposed to be Primus, and Unicron is the yellow one on the other side. They had a picture of them like lit up and like fighting, so I think that was supposed to be the whole thing.
Okay, but yeah, I would have wanted to go see this. So
I probably would have too if it was in, depending on the ticket price.
And depending on
a big factor.
It would have definitely had to be in English too. So
yes, that too. All right, well, let's talk about what's just announced. And this next one, maybe, I don't know what they have in your neck of the woods, but maybe you could get them. Sonic has some toys, which I thought they weren't able to do, and they're actually spoons. So, it's kind of, that's probably how they got around it. No, it's a utensil, not a toy. Yeah, they're a thing.
I don't think these are bad.
They're not horrible.
I think if I was a kid, I'd get them, and if I liked Sonic, I would probably go by and grab one just because, and just put it on. So a couple of years ago, I had a birthday cake with some Transformer, decorations on it, and I just kept the two Megatron and Optimus, even though they weren't they were like from the movie. I still have them, and so I would probably put these in that segment of stuff that I got from stuff.
I understand. I'm just always disappointed when I see these because I remember being a kid with, I think we talked about it on the show before, with actual transforming Happy Meal toys.
Oh yeah,
I remember the Beast Wars had a whole line, and even one of them had elbows and shoulder joints, same thing with the hips and knees, and they were like complete. It was like its own little toy. Panther, I think his name was. They were very creative. So this makes me. I just think of, well, why can't they do it anymore? I know it's costs, but whatever.
Well, yeah, man, that McDonald's cheeseburger, fries, Big Mac, I think it was, and a shake. So yeah, those are really cool. So
yeah,
it's funny what you take for granted.
Yes, exactly. Okay, next we've got Dr. Wu Comics Leopard Sandstorm. So this is their comic version, and I don't know what I was thinking, but when we looked at these before, it looked so good. I didn't think it was Dr. Wu. I thought it was like Magic Square or something like that. I read it, but I didn't put two and two together. This is really good for a Doctor Wu figure. I think it's great. And here it is next to the, I'm assuming the toy or toon accurate colors. They have two heads each. Are you going to be picking either one of these up?
So I have a pre-order in for the G1.
Oh, look at Mr. Legends Collector over here.
And then I saw the repaints and I said, nope, I'm not going to do it.
Which, speaking of repaints, they also have the Shattered Glass repaint. What do you think of this one?
Oh, I like it. I'm not going to get it though.
I really like the rims. That really bright teal on the rims looks really, really good. And I like how these are, well, it's a snake motif to go against the leopard. I think that's so cool.
I didn't even notice the rims. But no, I'm not going to do it. Nope. I got a pre-order in for one.
What about this one?
This one reminded me of the blue Omega Supreme, the Guardian.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's what it reminded me of. And no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it.
Well, I might have to bring you in because I might have put a pre-order in for this one.
What?
Because he goes with Cryotech right here. All of these, he's part of the gang. Look at the colors. Tell me that's not an Arctic figure.
I didn't notice the snake on the side of the helicopter.
Isn't that sick? Like, when I saw this, I was like, you know what? He's a mini-con in Cryotech's army. I get it's a Legends figure, but he's going to be a mini-con. Like, I think that is so cool. And it's going to be like $25. I can deal with that.
I mean, that's what I said, and I just don't feel like waiting for a sandstorm. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, as I was looking through some of my collection, I remember that they did a Scorpion, called it Sandstorm, and they did a Jet and called it Sandstorm.
The Jet was the one that always annoyed me. I'm like, why didn't you just call him Dust Storm?
Well, and so that,
you know, I mean, the Beast Wars, okay, they use some of the same names. Whatever. But the Jet, I'm like, it's supposed to be in the same universe. They wouldn't have the same name.
Yeah, so I just don't trust Hasbro to, do right by me. So
it's gonna be a giant. It's gonna be the cone head with a throne for that leader.
Yeah, I'm just like, because I really want a triple change of Sandstorm. I mean, to the point where I have a pre-order in that I've had for years for Unique Toys version of Sandstorm, and again, being late to the third-party collector side, I never got it. So, and it's not that great of a figure. I just want a Sandstorm. So,
yeah. I'm very excited to get this in. I've got to be honest with you. I'm glad to add to the ranks of Cryotech because that's. I saw this and I was like, yeah, that's bought.
Wow, I'm so surprised.
It's a mini-con. It's a mini-con. I'll drill a hole in its chest and it'll go on to somebody else. It's a mini-con. That's my justification. Next, we've got Funby Studios, and they have an upgrade set for their Armada Megatron. Or not for Hasbro's Armada Megatron, which will give it its knife, and it'll give it a mini-con port. So you can attach a mini-con to it. I don't know why Hasbro didn't think to put a mini-con port on these things.
Because they didn't think to add a mini-con.
I don't get it. Even Fans Hobbies, even though that one came with its own mini-con, it still has ports that you could plug a whole bunch of range figures or weapons into if you have a peg or a hole. So I don't get it. But Funby Studios is taking up the slack of Hasbro, and they also have a Leader 1. This should have came with this figure, especially for that price point. I don't understand it, but if I had this Megatron, this would have to be a must-have for this.
So it's so funny. I happen to run into this figure at my Targets all the time. And all I keep saying is, it didn't come with the mini-con at all.
Yeah.
That's such a disappointment. Such a very, very big disappointment for this to be a highlight for Legacy of Megatron's coming through the portal. And, I guess he left his, mini-con at home, found a babysitter or something like that.
And even, especially, I think, what's even more egregious is the Armada Prime not to have a Minicon. I mean, that's $110 figure. Like, that should have. It would have been I would have been more accepting of it if it came with the Minicon, and even better if it came with the Minicon and maybe Starsaber. Like, that would make sense for that commander class. And if it had moving hip skirts instead of one giant solid piece. But this is really cool. Kudos to Funby Studios, and I would totally be getting this, or printing it, I guess, if I was planning on getting this.
Yeah, I gotta get a printer.
Now, staying on this Armada train, Fans Hobby showed off their MB27 Shield team. So, what do you think of this?
I already knew when I saw this that your pre-order was in. If it's up, if the pre-order is up. I looked and didn't see a pre-order up yet, so I haven't put one in. I have to get it just because, one, they're the only ones making the mini robots, and two, I put it in for the Saber, so I have to have the shield to go with it.
Yep, I remember buying this back in the day, so I will be picking this up. They're not the best looking figures, not gonna lie. The original ones. These ones, we can't really make heads or tails of.
Right, the originals.
But the original ones, I really liked that race car, not the one that came with Starscream, but the other one. I don't know their names.
So you like the Le Mans style, I think.
Yeah, he's friggin' bulky, and I just always liked that when I was a kid. But this also makes me think they have a Starscream in progress. Because that is the same mold as Swindle, which is Starscream's Minicon.
Yeah, but and that's true. I mean, they could definitely do that. But they had repainted these Minicons. There's so many of them that were the same figure, just painted different. So
there was never any 3 team that had another one that went with one of the main figures.
Because Starscream Thundercracker came with the same, just a repaint.
Yes, but what I'm saying is they probably picked this team so they could already have a mold so they can do Armada Starscream.
I think it was more so on the fact that they wanted to do a shield since they were coming out with the Saber. But
I think it was both. I think they said, "Oh, well, we could use this, and we'll have," because Armada Starscream is one of the most popular characters. They did what? Megatron and Optimus, and then Optimus's little cronies. I think Starscream and Tidal Wave, which is there's gaps for. I think the next one is going to be Starscream. I wish it was Cyclonus, but I think it's going to be Starscream.
I see it. It can go either way. Again, rearranging some of my shelves, I didn't realize I had so many Armada figures, which is not a lot still. But I do have more Armada figures than I thought I had, and I still didn't really love them, but I think it was just me holding on to still being a collector.
Yeah, well, I like them. I think they're cool. But let's move on. So I forgot about this. They showed off it in combined mode with your Prime. So I think this pretty much sealed the deal for you, right?
The crazy thing is, I still don't love the combined mode for the Shield, but I'm going to get it just because. And that is the Prime I do have. And it'll just be something that, again, goes on the shelf as a added feature, and I can say that I have it.
I don't blame you. This is really nostalgic to me, so I can't wait to get it. Next, we've got a BotCon exclusive. It's Realm of Collectors 2023 exclusive, and it was a bunch of clear ollies, and I don't know which one, but one of them's a chase, and they were blind packed, which would make me so mad without end, and I wouldn't end up picking up any of these because I would only want the purple one. So I wouldn't take the gamble.
I actually have the 2.0 version or something like that, which I like it actually. Speaking of which, right here, again, didn't talk about this. It just happens to be here. And I have the repaint. I can't remember his name is Red, and I have that one. So I would have actually really liked the purple one for a shattered glass type mode, and I would have the clear one would have been cool too. I mean, any of them would have been cool, but I really would have wanted the purple one as well.
Me too. But I wouldn't take that gamble. I mean, this is probably gonna be like $80. I'm not taking a gamble on $80. I don't know. That is my
Yeah.
I don't know how much it is. So
I didn't pay that much for mine. I think I paid like $40 for mine. So.
Oh well, maybe if $40 would be more tolerable. I was just thinking about masterpiece figures. So yeah. Let us know if you got one of these below.
Yeah, I probably will buy one if I can find it.
I'd hate to see the prices if they're flying back. Let's get into the updates. First things for you, we got some more features to come with the Missing Link Optimus. So they have different license plate labels, and they're having a retro red tech spec decoder, which is kind of cool.
Excuse me. Yes, as a G1 collector, I had tech specs all over the place. It was just like I never really paid attention to their strengths or anything, but I like that they did it. So I probably still won't do it. I mean, it'll probably stay in the box or something like that, but I still think that's really cool. I had a friend who, as a kid, who had so many Transformers, and he used to cut the tech specs out, and he had like a stack of them like this. He would like rubber band like maybe 20 of them or something like that, and then take 2 from the first rubber band and add like another 20 and rubber band that. And so when he finished, it was just like 10 rubber bands or something like that. So jealous.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool little gimmick. I'm glad they added it, for that nostalgia bait. Next, we have the die-cast part locations. So you could see his chest and his feet are die-cast. I want one in those colors.
Why did I know you were gonna say that? He probably likes just the colors, the outline.
I do. I think that's cool. But it's cool that it has die-cast. At least that's justifying the price a little bit.
Oh yeah, and up around the hips, I know people said that, or some people had theirs break from the original. Mine never did, so I'm glad that they're taking the precautions anyway to put the die-cast there as well. So I'm so excited about these.
Well, let's talk about it some more because they got magazine images. So here we have, I believe that is the toy version and the anime version, going from left to right. Yeah, I don't remember the Matrix ever being in all gold.
Right. So that when we were speculating, I didn't mention that it looked like one of the Matrix were gold. So I'm gonna digress and go a little off topic. You see how he's holding the Matrix? Like his whole hands are on it. Looks like instead of Ultra Magnus with the
his fingers.
Yes. So again, this is how it should have looked, and I love it. Again, I'll be happy with both Matrix. The eyes look a little different than what I remember. It's like the eyes are really, really small looking, like the eye space in total, like the shield and the crown, it just looks really, really thin. And I don't remember it looking that way. Maybe it does, but it just looks a little bit awkward to me right now. Same with the blue, the blue eyes and the yellow eyes. It's a little awkward to me.
I couldn't tell any difference, but I didn't have this as a kid, so
yeah.
I'll take your word for it. And here we have even more images. Not much more to say about this, but it does look good for what it is.
I'm going back to when I was 8 and I opened this for Christmas.
I just wish it wasn't the stickers.
I wish the stickers weren't the differentiator. I'm okay with them including stickers because, it did have stickers, but I do wish that wasn't the differentiator.
Yeah, I agree. So with this magazine, they showed some other products. not a lot to talk about, but I picked up these 2 pages in particular. 1, because you really want that bludgeon, and 2, because you really want that Noah. Am I correct?
I really want that bludgeon and that Noah about as much as you're running to Target after we get off recording to finish off your Dinobots collection.
How did you know? I was gonna but yeah, but I really put these down in there because I think you would be interested in that Luna Prime still. I think you might have put a pre-order for that. And then you wanted the Studio Series figures. Everything else we've already seen before. That strong arm still does not look good.
No. The Bombshell, the Frenzy, and I'll be picking up the Ratchet.
Yeah,
that's it.
Not the Lunar Prime.
Oh, I already have a pre-order for that. Yeah. So
yeah. Okay. Moving on, we've got this, which is the Bishuo Starscream. I probably pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry if I did. And it looks good. And they showed off the box with Skywarp and Thundercracker. They all have different faces. I have no complaints. Would I be picking this up even if I had the money? No. If it was articulated, maybe.
I'm not picking it up because I don't want to spend the money on it, but I think it looks good. Is it just me? Didn't she have wings on both sides instead of them being folded when we first
No, I think they were folded in half the whole time.
Okay. I
think that's just your mind playing tricks on you.
Maybe it is, but yeah.
Well, and maybe with the art versus this, you get a bigger sense.
I don't know. I could have swore the wings were on both sides, but either way, I think it's a great looking figure. I would get the Skywarp probably first, but I think all 3 of them look good. And if I was a statue collector, I would definitely pull the trigger on this.
Yeah, I would as well. All right, next we've got Frumble Studio Series. I still can't believe this is a core class figure with how tiny it is. They should have been packaged like that. Those 2 figures should have been a core class figure.
And I thought I took my Rumble out. The legs look long, the arms look short, and that chest looks just like a big square. So the proportions look a little off to me in the first picture. When he has the pile drivers on, it looks a little bit better, but in that A pose, he just looks like he already has a grumpy face on, but it looks really weird, the proportions on him. So I'm still getting him, and I'm still gonna enjoy it, but I just don't remember that picture itself. The proportions look really weird. The others, if I start focusing, I can start seeing it, but that immediately jumped out to me.
Yeah, I think the torso's too short. I think that's if they had one joint that you go click, click out, I think you would have been happier.
Yes.
Because the arms and legs look proportionate, kind of. It's just the torso that's too short.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But
for core class, I would expect him to do it. Anyways, enough of that. We've got Studio Series Magnus's box, and this looks really cool.
I have the pre-order in. I'm going to give it a try. I hope I like it. I mean, again, it looks like a upgraded version from anything we've gotten from Hasbro, so I'm excited about that aspect. So I'm okay with it. I just can't. I got to get out of my mind that this is not Masterpiece, which I totally understand. It's just the price point is starting to, creep up to Masterpiece figures, not necessarily the Masterpiece Magnus from XTB, but it's just kind of creeping up there. So I hope it's a really good figure.
I hope for your sake and everybody else that wants this sake, it is a great figure. But Hasbro is doing really good with their art on their packages, especially since they're not showing the figure anymore. I really like what they've been doing, especially with their Amazon figures. So I have to give them props to that.
Now, the one thing I see is that there's blast effects for only one of his missile launchers. I'd rather it not come with any than only have it for one. That would
Pretty sure it only comes with one.
Yeah, that okay. Cheap.
Well, this I wouldn't consider cheap. I think they did a great job on this. They painted it very well. They did a behind the scenes version of this, and they talked about how the scavenger head, you could use it on either mold. I don't know why you would. Scavenger's an orange and green ant. This doesn't look like him, but whatever. I still think it's cool that they put it in. And yeah, they did a great job. I am hoping that Transart gets around to doing Inferno and does an Antagony as well, because I will be picking that one up too.
I didn't realize, and I recently opened my Inferno. I didn't really do much with it, but that leg articulation is kind of cool of Antigone sitting in the throne, legs crossed.
The Beast Wars figures have pretty good articulation, so yeah, I have no complaints about this. I'll be happy to get mine when they finally come in.
I'm so happy for you. You don't understand how happy I am for you, because I've heard about this for so long, how much you wanted this figure. So
you heard about it when we first met at that TF Con. If you remember, they had the original one for $1,500. So
yeah, and I know what you were talking about. So I thought I'm just very happy for you.
I do hope maybe a third party does come out with a more comic accurate head, because I would like a more comic accurate head. But regardless, let's move into some third party stuff. And the first is Ocular Max Patron Saint, which is a great name. Here we have Hotspot. I couldn't find their Ocular Max names, so I'm just going with their Hasbro names. We've got Hotspot, Blades, which Blades, I don't like the proportions on this guy. It looks a little funky.
His hands look
big. Yeah, the thighs. It looks very top heavy.
I just think he looks like he has some big hands. He looks like he's gonna. He looks like he'll hit you with like.
Yeah. So here's Groove again. The proportions look a little wonky.
The leg, that gap in the legs looks really thin and skinny. He looked like me when I was in high school.
Yeah. Yes. I'm assuming it does. You'll have to show me those family pictures later. And finally, we got combined mode, which is where I think all of those bot and mode, what would that be called? Shortcomings actually come into fruition. And this is what they focused on. I still think it looks a little stubby, and the legs look a little too long, but I don't know. Maybe that's accurate.
I can't necessarily say accurate unless, I mean, I know recently, I have it over here. I do have the KO G1, and he was a little bit stockier. You know, he didn't have really long legs, so.
Oh, I meant accurate to the cartoon.
Well, then, and I was going to say, to the cartoon, I don't recall him having long legs in the cartoon either.
Because those are really long legs. It's not just me, right?
Yeah, they are. They're really long. So
okay.
I was,
okay.
You know, maybe there's something else that's going to, you know, come and maybe cover up some of the crotch area to make it look a little bit shorter, but I don't know.
Or it's mistransformed and the torso isn't pulled out to where it's longer or something.
Yeah.
It's giving me Frenzy vibes that we just.
Yeah. Well, you know, and the thing I do like about this set, though, all in all, is that it's all in one. So everything is there. It's, you know, I love that aspect of it. So
I do as well.
Because of that, I will deal with longer legs if that's the case.
Oh, I wouldn't, not for this price. But I'm happy for you with getting another Defensor, because he's your favorite, right?
No, yours.
He's actually my favorite Autobot combiner, but I'm still not buying this.
I'm still waiting on my Computron. Hello, third party.
Let's move into this. So we've got MB20 X-Load with MB15A Power Commander, which is yours. And does this sway you at all to pick this up? I know you already put a pre-order in, but this looks really good with your Prime.
I hate it.
You hate it, really? Oh, I think it
Hate
looks
this-
great.
hate this base mode. It's
Oh, okay. Yes, the base mode is very lazy. I'll give you that.
yeah. It's just
But what about this?
that looks better. That looks that looks really good. Yeah, that base mode. I was just like, oh, it looks terrible. But yeah, this looks good, and this is actually what made me put the pre-order in, is because I actually like the colors blending together on this more so than I do with him blending with the Prime.
Yeah, I think this looks really good. I'm still waiting on the Magnets deco. I think that's coming down the pipeline. If it's not, I'm gonna have to go fly over to Fans Hobby's headquarters and ask them what they're doing with their lives. But I think this looks great. And speaking of Fans Hobby, we've got, what's his name? Dark Strike. And this is Darkwing, obviously. And these say that they're digital renders, so I think they just kind of photoshopped the colors over them because it says something about it being digital. Or maybe they just added the deco and it was printed in the colors. I don't know, but this looks great.
Yeah, I just got confirmation that my Buster, B or whatever was the alt mode,
The red version.
the blue version is sending. I have the red version now.
Dreadwing.
Yes, or Buster is what they call him. Or yeah.
No, Buster's the Japanese.
Buster's the Japanese name. Yeah. So
It's
whatever.
confusing.
It is. I'm like, yeah, because I always wondered where Buster came from. I was like, that sounds like a terrible name. But yeah, I just got confirmation that is on its way, and I'm curious to see what the alternate color of this is going to be when it comes out, and then I'm curious to see how they're going to look combined.
The alternate color of this, we've already seen it. It has the red instead of teal.
I cannot remember it then. I'm having like a brain fart on it. I do not remember what it looks like.
Yeah, that's the Japanese colors. So all of the teal you see is red.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't remember it. I have it pre-ordered. This is the only one I remember
I'm
seeing
sure
in
you have it
color.
on pre-order.
I do, but this is the only one I remember seeing in color. I think it's in grayscale still on my pre-order. So,
Well, the other one's coming out first, I think. So
well, that's even better. I haven't got a notification yet.
yeah. So,
Come on. I need it.
Let's move on to something else, which is the combined mode, which you talked about, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. It looks great. I think this combined mode actually works. It still looks stupid, but it looks cool.
I never understood it. I was just like, why?
Well, maybe like they're combining engines to go faster. That's what I always said. They're combining their power sources to go even faster and have more firepower. But
it's terrible.
Putting my Gorilla Man brain on, this just looks cool. And it's cool to have two jets combined. So,
yeah.
And then this is something that you're looking forward to, right? I think it looks like straight up like Megatron. With the silver and the red on the chest, and if they just gave it a Megatron head, it even has an arm cannon. I think this could be a Megatron. Like Prime Megatron in G1 or something. I don't know.
I can see that, and I don't like that. But it still looks cool.
It does. So, here's the combined mode, and I put an undercarriage picture because I know you love those undercarriages.
A lot going on in there.
And it's a lot. It looks like a mess down there, but I understand this isn't what they were going for. They were going for looking it at the top or the combined mode.
Really, that's it. Like, we're not giving a stand for a reason. Almost.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that it does probably come with a stand. The other two came with the stand. So, and actually, yeah, I think they do because they all have a light on them. They're combined.
Yeah.
So,
I think this looks great. It's not for me, but I'm glad you'll be getting it.
Yeah, it's this and Predaking, whichever version of the Kang Toys Predaking I decide to keep.
In combined mode?
In combined mode, yeah. Huh. Oh, they better not come out with a black version of that Superion. Oh, that would be terrible for my wallet. Okay.
Or what about a gold version? Or like a blue version, or a G1 colored version.
let's stop talking about it.
All right, well, let's talk about this. I think these are new pictures. If not, it gives us another reason to talk about this again. We've got Bond and James by X-Transbots, and they look good. I really like the Autobot version. Something with the chest mode on the Decepticon one looks a little too bulky. I guess I was reading there's like a panel on his lower abdomen that's supposed to go in to give him more of a shape, and they didn't do it with this photo shoot. I don't know, but that Autobot one looks really nice.
You know, I never had this figure as a kid, so I was very anxious. I'm very anxious, I should say, to get it. I think it's just really cool. And I'm happy. Whichever version I don't like, you know, you have options here. It's not like with most figures you get, you know, one, the figure just looks the way it is, and if you don't like it, you either don't buy it and not have it in your collection, or you get it in your collection and you just like, okay, I don't really like this figure, but I just got it. This one you have options, and
I kind of like that though. That way I don't buy a lot of stuff. I don't like options.
Well, clearly I can never choose, so I'm happy for this.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
It looks good for what it is.
Yeah, just come home to Bobby.
Oh, it'll be there soon. What I want to come home to me though is this thing.
Oh yeah.
This looks amazing. Let's go through the pictures first. So we've got all the legs can splay out. You could have the different mandibles and different things. Oh, and by the way, this is Bingo Toys BTO for Spider-Girl, which is Black Arachnia. I guess the abdomen could become a shoulder shield, which I love the options on these things. Same thing with Windblade. And here's the spider mode, which has boobs for its head, which I think is kind of funny. And I wanted to point out this posability. You know I like my ab crunches. This sealed the deal if it wasn't already sealed already. This is cool.
I mean, I just wish I was flexible like that. I just want to be able to grab my leg and, you know, throw it up like my arm. You know, I can't even touch my toes. So, you know, I'm impressed by that flexibility there. I agree with you. This looks really, really good. I have a pre-order in. I know you have a pre-order in. I like this. I liked the first picture you showed with the legs all up in the air. I thought that was really cool. It kind of gave me like the Game of Thrones, you know, the throne with all the swords kind of on it. I was just like, yeah, that looks really cool. Somebody I wouldn't want to mess with in a dark alley. I'm here for it. So I don't like the name, but again, it is what it is. But
Spider Girl.
Yeah, you could have.
I mean,
gotten more.
They had to just make something up.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
wasn't it Wind Girl for Windblade?
Something like that. It was bad. The name was so bad. I just called it the Bingo Toys. You know, Windblade. That's how it was, and I think I still refer to it as that. So.
Well, I don't care about the name because that's not the name it'll have in my collection. But she is going to be the queen on her throne, just like this. When I get her in, she looks amazing. The only thing I would change would be the face color. Black Arachnia has never had that white, pink face. She's always had gold or purple or something. So I think a purple face would have been a lot cooler, especially that dark royal purple like her feet. I think that would have been better. And if she didn't have that lipstick, I would probably paint it myself. But I'm not going to. And the price even makes it better. This is going to be about $73 MSRP. So it should only be, you know, a little bit more for overseas sites, and I think it's about $120 for domestic sites. So that's not bad at all, especially this is what, 7.5, 8-inch tall figure for Windblade. I'm assuming it's the same height. I can't wait to get this. This is everything that I wanted. This has been a really good year for you for Beast Wars figures. So yeah, I'm very happy. I got on the Transart train, so
I don't know what that debacle is in the lower right corner, but you know.
That debacle is, that's just the best Silverbolt, don't you lie. You like that Knight Silverbolt. They actually put it there because, if I'm remembering correctly, Silverbolt and Black Arachnia were in a relationship.
Yeah.
Just like Optimus Prime and Elita 1, except, you know.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the
I honestly didn't like that because I think I like Black Arachne as evil, but whatever. Let's move on to something I think you're gonna like, and it's incoming. So we know you don't like those transforming figures, and you like it when they don't transform, which is why I think you should get this.
That's a very, very stylized Rodimus, and no, I won't be getting it.
You liked it before, though.
I think it looks. I don't think I like it as much as I did when we saw it before. It is very, very stylized, like really, really stylized, and it doesn't transform. So yeah, my maybe that day I was feeling like forgiving, Hot Rod. And
yeah, I mean, I think it looks fine. It's not my favorite character. It's not my favorite color. This is their 7-inch line, so it's more affordable than their $400 figures. Yeah, I mean, if I was able to get a shattered glass color for like $40, I would buy it. but I'm not paying full MSRP for this.
I think you might be able to get his fist for $40 or something like that.
No, this is probably going to be about 100. But that's still too much.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about what is recently released. And we still got Rise of the Beast stuff to talk about. So we've got some Jada toys, non-transforming ones. I know you're probably on the lookout for that Wheeljack. And then we have the Command and Convert Optimus Primal. So have you been able to find that Pablo Wheeljack yet?
I haven't even begun to look. I don't even know
what aisle they would be on.
I have absolutely no idea. I think it's funny that underneath the Primal there looks like a little green pickle dude or something like that. That's probably what I noticed about this. I mean,
that's pretty funny.
All right, yeah, and I noticed the little die-cast car. I think it's die-cast underneath the Jada sign, but that's. I mean, I'd be thinking about Jada Pinkett more than anything else on this picture. Then that's where my mind went. So yeah, this is not for me. Yeah,
I feel the same way. Next, we've got a fourth-party Wheeljack. Do you still need this in your collection?
I don't. I mean, I already have it, and so this is late news here. I've had it for a few months now. So
really? Oh, they must have had a reissue.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, again, when I was in single digits in age, or maybe 10, 11, this was like the coolest thing ever. But gosh, that's a terrible looking Wheeljack. I mean, I know you talk about
like
arms.
Optimus Primal than Wheeljack, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, those arms are a thing of legend right there. I mean, he doesn't even have to bend over to touch his toes. But in the 80s, this was the jam right here.
Yeah. All right. Next, we've got these guys. They're finally out. I'm sure. Oh no, you're not getting them because you got the other ones. You got the ones
right.
from the convention. But now you can get them with the non-convention ones. I still think that head is one of the worst heads I've ever seen.
I agree. It's not a good head, but
it's not a good head.
Yeah.
Next, we got this guy, which I know you're just chomping at the bit for. This is Transart's TC-MXG01 Mahakin, which is the Mohawk. And this is a re-release. This came out, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. I actually do like it. I think he's cute in an ugly sort of way. I like the alt mode. I'm just not paying $40 for it.
Oh, $40 isn't bad.
He's like 3 inches, 3.5 inches. No, I think it was 4.5 inches, which I guess is Hasbro Deluxe size nowadays. I know this is going to blow Hasbro out of the water when they do their Core Class one. They're not even going to be able to hold a finger to this. Even if they charged $40 for it and had the $40 budget, they probably wouldn't be able to hold a candle to this. I just don't need it.
Everybody should know that I don't need it. This is just not something that I would even want to. I like the alt mode as well a little bit, But yeah, I'm not in for this at all. And I don't like the way he holds the knife. It looks kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, if he's 4.5 inches tall, that means you could have gave him hands. Like, sorry, I don't know what Transcraft is, but yeah. So, what about this guy?
So I have him on the way.
That's what I thought. So you're gonna have to let me know if he comes with alternate heads, because the company was hinting that it comes with a more Beast Wars accurate robot and beast head.
I literally only bought this because I think it was like $27 or
It's like $30 or something.
Yeah, and it had the lights and stuff like that. So this will be on kind of my "why did I buy this" shelf. What was I thinking?
Yeah, I agree. I was contemplating it with the price, but I just don't need another Primal. I know we talked about that before. I don't buy every single character like you do. But if they re-release this in another color, I would be more willing to pick it up. Hint, hint, Universe 1.0 colors. I would totally buy that.
I really like the colors of the
colors are great. I just have that other one. So I don't. Yeah, I agree with you. The colors do look good.
Yeah.
So. I just don't. I wish the movie version looked like this. Maybe with a different head, with a different robot boned head. I think this looks better than.
Yeah. I'll let you know. Right. We'll definitely have it up.
So we talked about this last week, but it is back up for order and in stock at least Show Z. So go ahead and pick this up while you can. It might be out of stock by the time you guys see this, but it was in stock when I looked at it.
I swear, I was looking for this all last year. I was looking for this set, and the numbers I was seeing were ridiculous. So glad, so glad I held out.
Yeah, it looks cool. It really enhances it because I do not like that Devastator. I did not buy it, that's for sure.
I love the Devastator except for Mixmaster. I thought it was amazing.
I couldn't get over that they didn't give him elbows. Not Devastator, but the individual figures. Oh. That killed the whole set for me. I'm like, that's a basic articulation point. That's something at this price point should have. So I skipped it, and I'm not sad I skipped it because I don't need a Devastator that big. I'm good with my 13-inch Devastator. He shouldn't be that big, in my opinion. I'd rather have Predaking Tower over.
I love Predaking, but nope.
Yeah, Predaking, yeah. Well, I mean, it makes more sense. These are construction vehicles, you know what I mean? So they should be smaller than giant robot animals. Giant robot animals could be whatever size you want to be. Construction vehicles, they have to be the same size as, cars.
Who said that they were giant robot beasts?
What I'm saying is they could fit wherever you want them to. You could get a Legends class Predaking, and it would still be in scale with Devastator. And Predaking was in the G1 a lot bigger. So.
Just wider. I love that. I love that.
No, he was taller.
I love Predaking, so I can't argue this about my favorite Decepticon combiner.
What about this?
It looks so good.
It does look good.
I want it. I'm not gonna get it, but I want it.
I wouldn't go that far because I don't want it, but I do like this. It looks good.
It does. I love honestly, I love Hot Rod's alt mode. Gosh, I couldn't wait till 2005. They lied to me. I just knew we were gonna get a car like that.
They probably have them. You just can't. You can't know about them.
I know. I was saving up my money and everything to get one. I had like $17 when 2005 hit.
So this does look good though. For all you Legends collectors out there like Bobby, I think you should pick it up.
Yeah. And it looks like, is it battle damaged? Is that?
It is. It's a battle damaged version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's everything we have for you today. So comment, like, subscribe, hit that little bell icon, and don't forget to tell us your thoughts below. And hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
As always, till all debates are won. Thanks for joining.